Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video here on how to fish care and also other pets and animals and a little bit about nature too. I'll be uploading all kinds of videos like that. But this one is about brine shrimp, and I really wanted to make this video. This is a tank that's just set up. It's a breeding tank. They're growing out to adults, and I really wanted just to create an ongoing, self-sufficient population of brine shrimp. Just a aquarium setup, just dedicated to brine shrimp that would be multiplying and living on their own. And so I've done it. This is it, and that's lava rock in the bottom there. I've got a little box filter to the left, you see there, that I've just made myself. And I've got a heater in there. It's salted water, of course, to the level you would a saltwater aquarium. And I've wanted to do this for a long time. I've hatched brine shrimp, like I'm sure a lot of you had, to feed tropical fish. But I've always seen all these videos and had the idea in the back of my mind to actually have a tank of brine shrimp that are just growing to adulthood and multiplying. So here it is, and I'll real quick try to just give you everything that I did. And if this is something you're interested in doing, growing brine shrimp or growing them to adulthood or breeding them, then this will definitely help you. You can pick up some tips here. So the first thing is, setting up the tank with, like I said, and adding the salt. Now I just used sea salt. I didn't use aquarium salt. I just used sea salt, and that's non-iodinized, and so it doesn't have any iodine in there. And it's sea salt. It's very inexpensive to buy it like that, and that's what I did, and that's been working great. I had it set up like that. I went ahead and hatched. Of course, it's dechlorinated water, and then here it's about I'm gonna say somewhere around 10 gallons here, a little bit less than 10 gallons. And I wanted a decent, size to help with the stability, so the pH and ammonia and everything would be more stable. And so got it all set up, and then also topped it off with about 2 or 3 gallons of water from my freshwater aquarium that I knew that would have some algae in it that the shrimp like, and also good beneficial bacteria already going. So I added that in there and kind of seeded the population of because you're growing algae, you're growing beneficial bacteria, and you're growing the shrimp. So those three different populations going on in here. And so did that. They hatched and as normal, and started to grow out. But then, within that first week or two, started to die off, which I've had happen before. And there was just a few that grew up to adult size, the large size. We see all the legs and the eyes and everything like that. Like you see some of them in here, those tails and everything. And so then I introduced a heater, went ahead and put the heater on, and it was about, I'm gonna say, like 68, 69 degrees before then. And it was getting into winter, and it was right up against a window, so it had some draft. And so I went ahead and put a heater that stabilized the temperature, and I put it set at about 75 degrees. So it seemed like that was helpful to do. And then in that second week or third week, I reseeded it with another just pinch of eggs. And so I didn't hatch them in a special hatching thing like I normally do. The upside down Coke bottle with like funnel shape, and I didn't do any of that. I saw some guys on YouTube that had just hatched, their shrimp just to like hatch the eggs just in a regular tank. So I did that. I just sprinkled them on the surface and let them go. And so that generation hatched, and a few more of the adults survived, more than had the first time. And I think just the longer that you have a system like this set up, the more stable it is, the more bacteria, the more algae. And so it's going to, it's going to be better for the shrimp. The more you have a higher survival rate, and that happened the second time. Another thing is I also put lettuce leaves in there. And I had tried spirulina powder before, and I noticed they would feed off that, but sometimes I think I would, overfeed it or underfeed it. And so I wanted something a little more natural. And so I put these lettuce leaves in there. They started to break down. I noticed that the brine shrimp were swimming around those leaves. They would always be around those leaves, and I guess the leaves were breaking down. It was plant matter, and so it was that was good. That was another thing that I did that I think helped. And then as the water would evaporate, I marked the level, because I measured all the salinity and everything that I wanted, and so I just marked on the side of the aquarium the level of water. And as it would evaporate, I would introduce more water from my freshwater aquarium. I didn't salt it again because it already had the salt. But every time I add more of that water from my freshwater aquarium that already has the bacteria and the algae, I think that was a help to the system, just to get everything. It's like priming a pump, and you're seeding it over and over and over again. And so they started to do real well. The thing that really, when it really took off, one thing that I really did that really kind of pushed it over the edge and really created that kind of greenish algae that you can see that it has right now. That algae tinge is full of algae, and where I started to see my shrimp, more of them really growing to full-size adulthood and surviving long term, was when I took the little glass and did the yeast. And so I just got that, the yeast that you get for baking, and just in a little jar, I just added the warm water with dechlor and left it there for, a couple hours a day. And once that yeast was alive in that little kind of a milky liquid form, I just siphoned off a little bit of that yeast and introduced it into this tank. And when I did that yeast, that's when I would see all the shrimp get real active and swimming around. When I did that, almost like, just regular fish in a tank. And after I would introduce that every day. Every day, once I saw the good effect of it, I started putting that yeast, that liquid yeast, in just a little bit. I mean, not even maybe like a teaspoon. Probably not even that much. Because again, I didn't want to affect the balance of everything, and so I'm been slowly, introducing things and seeding things into this system to just to get it so it's kind of like, going on its own. That's a pretty cool shrimp right there, a good size one. You can see the shape of it and everything up against the glass. And so after about a week or two of the yeast, then that's when I saw this algae bloom. And now that it has this algae bloom, I haven't introduced the yeast. Now we're at the time of shooting this video, this is like more than a month. This is like maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 weeks, 5 weeks, I'll say. And it's pretty much just running on its own. I mean, it is, I think babies are being born in here. Definitely, all the shrimp are growing up to adult size, and they're just, you know, continuing on. They're just getting larger, and now they're just swarming, as you can see. I mean, there's shrimp everywhere. Now I have a light, a bright LED light that I keep on this, and I keep it on as much as I can. I just turn it on like right before I go to turn it off right before I go to bed, and it's by a window, like I said, so it's getting sunlight all the time. You know, during the daylight hours. I think that helps it. Like I said, the leaves, the lettuce leaves, as you can see, they're decomposing at the surface. I think that helped a lot. Continually introducing the other aquarium water, that has helped. And so that's just what I've done, guys. So hopefully this has, you know, given you some tips, something to think about if you're wanting to grow shrimp or wanting to breed them out. I appreciate you watching the video. Give me a like. And if you enjoyed it, I appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I'm trying to grow this channel and pass on as many tips as I can. I love, you know, raising fish and pets and animals, nature. And I've learned so much from YouTube that I make these and try to share what I've learned with other people. Have a good day.